Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Prop Wiz. I'm your host, the Wiz. Today, we'll be doing a review or a retrospective look back at some of the Neca monster figures. No box opening with this, as some of these have been open for years and sitting on my shelf for years. But it's Halloween, y'all. So, of course, I had to pull out some of the horror stuff that I got. Now, this is a lot of figures. I don't plan on doing a long video going over every single one of these figures. We're just going to showcase them, man. Put them on the screen for you guys to see. Probably say a little bit about each one of them. Man, horror was a big deal when I was growing up, man. Me and my grandmother, my granny, man, it's something we got in common. Used to go to her house. We used to knock out at least a movie or two every time I would go over there. These figures, except for maybe Pennywise, represents that childhood, man. All these movies are something that we used to watch together. Of course, the most famous out of these is probably the Universal Monsters, or I should say the oldest. What started this thing was probably the Universal Monsters, and kind of low-key fed my love of comic book movies. I mean, you had Count Dracula, man, played by Bela Lugosi, had the cape, was able to brainwash people by looking at him. Dude, he had powers, can turn into a bat. Of course, it was a horror film, but we didn't have a lot of superhero movies, man. So that kind of fed that, again, that love for that I had for comic book movies. The Wolfman was kind of on that a little bit as well. And then, of course, we had the newer things like Jason, Freddy. Freddy is top notch, man. Something me and her used to watch. Me and my granny used to watch as well. In fact, for years and years and years, man, Freddy's Dead was like the last movie she had seen in the movie theater. It wasn't probably until like 10 years later that she went back and we saw some other stuff. In fact, it might have been longer than 10 years. I think it was The Help was like the next movie that she saw in the movie theater. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive on in, man. Let's show these bad boys off.
Okay, first up, we have Freddy Krueger figure by Neca based on the 1987 film Dream Warriors, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Now, phenomenal figure, man. Very, very detailed, all the way down to the glove. It came with two interchangeable heads. One had the cross burnt on the forehead. The way I got them here is the way I displayed. This is none of the accessories are here. This is basically how I got it displayed on the shelf, how I love it, how I'm presenting it to you. Dope figure. Of course, there's no way I can have Freddy Krueger without having Jason Voorhees. This is the Jason Voorhees figure from the 1984 film Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. This is one of my favorites, mostly because of the visuals. I showed off the mask in an earlier video, Prop Wiz video, so we got the figure to go along with it. This is real dope, too, because the mask is removable. Very, very detailed figure, man. True to Neca. Very, very accurate to the film. Next up is Pennywise from the movie It. Neca did their things with these, man. I'm not sure if I bought both of these at the same time. I'm not even sure if they're the exact same figure and it was just interchangeable heads. I don't remember, to be honest with you, but hey, got them. Got two figures, two totally different faces, man. I love this one where he's holding the little boy's hand. I feel like Neca really, really mastered making these It series figures, man. They have a whole lot of different ones, a whole lot of different heads out there. And I believe there's a 1/4 scale version of this as well.
Okay, man, on top of the two It figures, also have this box, this collection. It's called The Many Faces of Pennywise. This is also by Neca. I don't know why. It's one figure and a whole bunch of heads in this thing. I decided not to open this, man. I barely keep stuff in the box, man. There's a couple of things that I keep in the box that I bought that I probably didn't love as much as I thought I did. Some stuff is just nostalgic, actually. I got like Pinocchio. I got some Popeye figures that I bought that really don't fit the superhero theme, doesn't fit the movie theme. So I kind of kept them in the box in the shelf because, know they're probably going to be worth something. With this one in particular, not just the money. As you guys know, I don't do this for the dough, but not having enough room, or if displaying it doesn't make sense, taking it out of the box and displaying it doesn't make sense, then I usually keep it in the box. So in the case with this, one figure and what we got, and 9 heads, or 10 if you include the one that's on the body, it's like there's no reason to take this out. It's too hard, man. It's a big decision. Like, what head do I put on it? How do I display it? It's too much of a decision. It was easier for me to just keep it in the box and kind of display it this way. And on top of the fact I already got 2 figures. In fact, the 2 figures that I did open that they sold individually are represented in here as well. So I'm just now noticing that. So really, I already got 2 of these. So literally, I got 3, man. That might push me to open this thing one day, maybe. But anyway, I did want to show this thing off as part of the Neca series, as this is a big thing that's in my collection that I thought was cool on top of these other figures.
Of course, we have no horror series unless we got this bad boy. This is Charles Lee Ray, a.k.a. Chucky, the Chucky doll from the 1988 movie Child's Play. Next up, man, we got the movies that probably started it all. The first mashed together. We look at these superhero movies nowadays and look at how we got all the superheroes in one movie. Well, the monsters did it first with the Universal monsters back in the day. First up, man, is my boy Dracula, Bela Lugosi. Well, one of my favorite movies, man. Me and my granny can watch this movie over and over again. Dude, he is the GOAT. Just mesmerizing to see on the screen. Very charismatic. And basically everything that we've come to know of Dracula came from this character right here. You wouldn't like what was different if you didn't like what was normal. And this is the guy that normalized Dracula. I know that sounds ridiculous, but this is the Dracula that most of us all know, man. And this figure reflects all of that. Here we got Boris Karloff as the Mummy. You're going to hear Boris Karloff name a lot, man. He was a monster dude. He played a lot of our favorite monsters, or a couple of our favorite monsters. But this figure, man, very, very reflective of that movie, but very, very dope, man. Very, very detailed, all the way down to the ring on his finger. Neca, you guys are doing your thing. Next up, we got the Wolfman, played by Lon Chaney Jr. Again, man, an absolute legend. He played this character more than once. In fact, my favorite time is, I believe, the Wolfman versus Frankenstein. Yo, again, monster mashup. And of course, his father was famous for playing the Phantom of the Opera. Again, high detail coming from Neca. Okay. For the next figure, we got Frankenstein, or probably more precise, Frankenstein's monster. Dope thing. Again, this is Boris Karloff. We've seen him play the Mummy. We've heard him do the voice, the narration with the Grinch That Stole Christmas, and tons of other horror movies that he played, man. Very, very dope artist, man. But this is, of course, the thing that he's probably the most famous for. And just like Bela Lugosi did with Dracula, Boris Karloff made this character iconic, this Frankenstein. This is how we see Frankenstein. It very rarely goes off into a different direction. And even when it does, the Halloween decorations in most people's house stick to this version of Frankenstein, man. So, okay, last but not least is Elvira. And it's kind of weird. I saved this one for last. I probably should have put it at the beginning before the movie Monsters. She was the host of a show where she would play these old B movies, these old monster movies. I believe the actress name was Cassandra Peterson. I might be wrong. I should have looked that up. She hasn't officially retired the character. I don't think she's played the character for a while, but she has admitted that this is a character that can live on.
Anyways, that's my retrospective look at these NECA monster figures. But let me know what you guys think. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Have you collected these? There's a ton of these things, man. In fact, I'm missing one. I'm supposed to be getting the monster from the Black Lagoon. Really looking forward to that one. I haven't got my hands on yet. And there's some cool accessories that come with Dracula and Frankenstein that you can get separately, like a coffin and the little table and stuff at the beginning of Frankenstein. And I think even the tomb coffin-like thing for the Mummy also. There's some other, accessories out there for these figures, man. Did you get your hands on that, the figures, whatever? Let me know. And hey, if you like this video, please take the time to hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. As always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time, all right? Peace.
Trying to kill is sneaking out.
Yo, as soon as you walked in the house, you was dead already. That bitch got an arsenal more creative than Freddy's. Blaze on the fingertips is just a tip of the crazy. That crazy bitch chased me for 6 blocks till I got to safety. But maybe she wasn't loved when she was young. She got picked on by the dumb young motherfuckers filled with dumb and insane to think they thought the evil ways displayed wouldn't phase her enough to make them pay one day. And all the dudes she abused was all dudes she knew in school who were rude, or guys like me who just chill with them fools. But I get it when your mind is twisted with this sickness and your brain process things a little different. No, you're not innocent, though your innocence was stolen and sitting to this frozen prison that you were sitting in, listening to demons whispering. Make a list of them, envision them, and then start killing them. Take a look in those black widow eyes. Everything that looked